They wanna know about Islam, we'll give them da'wah. They wanna know what a Muslim does, we'll give them da'wah.
As Christian friends, you need to reflect what you were just saying.
Didn't your God turn into a tree?
When they wanna hate on our deen, we'll give them da'wah.
Sorry?
Didn't your God turn into a tree?
Where are you learning Islam from, my friend?
I don't know. I'm asking you a question.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So, God and his attributes, right? So we were talking about how attributes can be transformed or not, okay? The example that was given just in seconds ago before you was talking about the tree, if you were following, just lost my train of thought for just 1 second.
Box?
No, box. No, God the Father, yeah? Oh, sorry, got it. Alhamdulillah. You said God can do anything. I don't believe you believe that either. Okay, can God cease to exist if he wanted to?
Technically speaking, he could. He's God. He could do
Okay,
anything.
right. Now, think about this. Okay, so to be consistent to what you just said, God can do anything means he can also cease to exist, right? One moment. To be consistent in your statement that you made earlier, God can do anything, that means you would allow God can cease to exist. Ceasing to exist means he's not everlasting. Do you affirm God is everlasting? Yes, you do affirm it. So if you affirm God is everlasting with no end, can you also affirm he can cease to exist at the same time? One second. If you affirm God is everlasting with no end, never ending, can you at the same time affirm that God can cease to exist? You would believe in a contradiction. God is all loving, he can be all hateful. That's what he's saying. God is all truth, he can be all lying, deceiving. Do you believe God can be all deceiving, all lying?
You do.
I'm asking you the question. Don't bring. Obviously, you've been learning about Islam from very dubious sources,
when you
right?
say dubious sources.
Yes. I can
Allah
see.
is the greatest of all deceivers. Yes or no?
Which translation can
Yes
I?
or no?
One moment, please.
Yes or no?
Okay. Is this in the Quran, right?
I let you go on and on.
Sure.
Yes or no?
Where can I read this?
Allah is the greatest of all deceivers. Yes or no?
To answer this question, I want to know: is this in the Quran, right?
It's Islam.
Okay. In Islam.
Yes or no?
In Islam, where can I? In
Yes or
Islam, brothers,
No.
please.
Okay.
In Islam, where can I find that statement? Yeah. I want to know which translations on planet Earth says God is the. And then we'll return, because what you're trying to do is somehow say, look, you know this.
I'm not trying to do anything. We're just having a discussion.
It's been good. It's good.
Okay.
It's a good discussion.
I feel like I'm just being honest. I talked to you. I talked to
Fair enough. But while you're checking this, I want all to reflect on this. If you affirm God is all truth, you have to reject he is not all the truth. The opposite.
Surah 3, Ayah 54.
Can you read that translation in whatever language you're familiar with, where it says God is deceiving?
But the Jews were deceptive and Allah was deceptive.
No,
for
read.
Allah, hold on, for Allah is the best of deceivers.
Excuse me. What I'm asking you is, which translation can I read this English from?
That's not my problem.
No. You've just made a statement, right?
I made a statement.
I know.
I quoted and I sourced.
1 second.
I cited the surah and the ayah.
Okay, fine. So, can I read this in which surah again? Surah number?
I think it was 354. Yeah. 354.
Okay, 354. Can you find 54? Because you don't have even numbers. Because I want you to demonstrate, because I know you've just made this up from somewhere. I know.
No, I didn't make it up. Be respectful.
No. You got it from someone who made it up.
No.
So where does it say that he's deceiving? Can you find out for me, please? We're discussing in English, so find me an English translation where it says exactly what you've just said.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So can I go for my?
Yeah. Find where it is exactly.
Go ahead.
And choose a translation that you want. I have more than 50 translations in English.
Okay.
If you prefer, I can pull this up.
So what's?
No, just show me where what you just said. It's there in our Quran and or in the translation. You should read it aloud.
53 or 54? 53. Yeah. So We need etymology because
Excuse me.
I don't trust this.
No. You've just read something which I know is made up. So I'm simply asking you, which translation of a printed Quran, whether it's digital or otherwise, that I can read this from? Because I know it's made up by Christian polemicists. I know. I can tell you who made it up, but that's not the point.
No
So you've just introduced to me something that the Christians made themselves up. They made they made a statement saying God is a deceiver, which, as I said, more than 50 English translations I have in English. You will not find in any translation that says that. So where did it come from?
I disagree. With my respect to you, I disagree. But
disagree with what? Sorry.
with what you're saying.
No, I'm saying.
The reason why I'm saying is because. So I have a Quran at home.
Yeah, it says deceiving, right?
No. No. I'm not talking about that. But I've seen other instances in which the words after translation have been interpreted to have other meanings. Let me
help you. There are many translations in various languages done by non-Muslims. Get me one of those. See where they've translated "He's the deceiver," and we can talk about it. Because if you don't know Arabic, I mean, we should have asked. What's the etymology of this word?
And I'm not trying to change the topic. Honest,
no problem.
Honest. I was very interested in the recent debates about the term Salah and the term Barakah.
Yeah, dead horse. It's been done and dusted.
I know.
You're too late in the debate.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I just want to reference that as a way to show and prove that that's the difference between the translation and an intentional misinterpretation. No. So I don't trust.
I think you're coming late in this discussion. Muhammad Hijab had a debate with David Wood on Trinity. Very discussion that we're having.
Yep.
And Christians, seeing the disastrous outcome of the debate, they're trying to deflect the debate and the what we call damage control. Let's put it that way. And now talking about this one aspect about salah and prayer and so on and so forth. But this itself has been clarified by the person who debated here, Muhammad Hijab. Mm-hmm. So we know that people, Christians specifically, Christian missionaries and Christian evangelists have misunderstood hijab and misunderstood the Arabic and misunderstood the English translation.
So what does Yusali mean? What does Yusali mean?
What does Yusali mean?
Yeah.
How about going to the... In fact, why am I even giving you that?
I don't want, like you said, I
have already discussed this with the missionary team here, given them authoritative dictionaries, Arabic, English, which everyone accepts, where... Have you heard of Lane's lexicon? Find me a scholar...
My friend,
who disagrees.
I don't know Arabic. Okay,
this is a dictionary into English,
okay.
Arabic into English.
Okay.
So I'm saying Lane's lexicon is 8-volume dictionary, is a dictionary which is authoritative because it goes and gives you the meaning from classical Arabic dictionaries. If you somehow don't think it's an acceptable dictionary, find me a scholar in academia who says this is not authoritative and they prefer something else. Yeah? So this is what I'm saying. Academic scholars will all agree this is one to follow. I can give you others, but this is one which is Arabic to English based on a very classical sources. Clearly he says this is the meaning, this is about magnification of the Prophet. I just showed to someone else, I've probably got it on my phone right now, on that page, right? Magnification. So you need to go and read the academic stuff on this to understand where the Christian missionaries are failing. They're failing to deflect the debate and the outcome of the debate. They're failing to represent the truth in its true form by totally just, trying...
That's not the way I see it. The way I see it is that it was proven that Allah prays.
By who? By what?
By the Arabic.
Okay, so go back
the interpretation then had to be elaborated on and expounded upon to arrive at different points.
This is where I would say people need to really be critical of whatever they watch, whatever they hear, whatever they read. Use your God-given intellect and use it critically, and you will see where the truth lies. Let's leave it to that point, right? Because it's a dead horse already. I'm not sure why people are even bringing this up. They're bringing this up because now...
So to be fair...
Not you, people. Even today people are talking about it. Why?
The only reason I brought it up is because, again, that's why I don't trust the interpretations.
This is nothing to do with interpretation. Okay. It's in the Arabic. The meaning is in the Arabic.
Okay.
So now when we come to this question about God can do anything, do you believe? And you said yes. So if God is all-loving, you believe, unfortunately, God can be all hateful if he wanted to from now on. He's no longer all loving, but pure hate. He can be that if he wanted to.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's not me. That's what you
No,
said.
that's not what I said.
Okay, can God be all hateful if he wanted to?
No, he's not.
You said
He's-
God can do anything, didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
But why would he?
So
That's fine. No, that's fine.
The question is not-
again, right? Arrive
the
at the point.
question is not why would he. Remember what I said? If he wanted to. If he wanted to create something, that's his prerogative. If he wanted to become all hateful, that's up to him. So the question is,
what's your objection?
so if God wanted to become all hateful in your belief, he can be all hateful and no longer loving, yeah?
What's your objection?
Sorry. Clarify to me. If God is all loving and if he wanted to become all hateful, can he become all hateful?
Semantics.
Not semantics.
I don't understand.
Not semantics.
It's all hypotheticals.
It's not hypothetical.
Yeah, we're
You
playing
said a
hypothetical-
state.
You're
You
taking me
made
on a hypothetical
no.
path.
You,
I mean,
you,
we could do that a lot with
no.
various
It's not about
faiths.
hypothetical.
Can you do this?
Look,
Would
look,
you do
look.
that?
look.
I mean-
You know very well in your heart. Consult your heart. You know your heart will tell you God can never lie. He's always going to speak the truth. God can never cease to exist because he's everlasting. God is going to be always all knowledgeable because he is an absolute God. In your heart. But as you are speaking to me, because you are putting yourself like on a defense, one foot on the
I'm
defense.
just-
That's why your heart
Oh,
and your
okay.
mind is now having a dilemma. Like,
No, I
you
don't
know,
have a dilemma.
Okay,
I'm very clear.
So
I haven't shifted
can,
at all.
in your belief, can God be fully lying and never speaking the truth anymore if he wanted to?
My God doesn't lie.
It's not about your God to lie. If he
I
wanted
said
to,
your God lies, my God doesn't.
Excuse
My
me.
God's not the greatest of deceivers.
listen. These kind of semantical statements of like
That's what I
tit for
say.
tat
We-
doesn't
yeah,
work.
it's-
I'm asking you a simple question, which is,
Different dynamics, man.
following from your statement that my God can do anything, is lying part of this anything? Or is it excluded?
Based on his own set of morals, I mean, it would be.
Is it excluded or included?
It would be excluded, I guess. because of
Right.
his set of
So
morals.
there you go. Thank
Again-
you.
again, we're
So
playing
now
a
you,
hypothetical
not
game.
hypothetical. You've just affirmed. You've just affirmed there are things that God cannot do, would not do. You've just affirmed it because it's excluded. That means God does things which befits His Majesty. Do you agree? This is the Islamic concept of God. God does things which befits His Majesty. God would not do ungodly things. Yeah? So God would
Again,
not, for
what-
example,
again,
become...
What's your objection?
Not an objection. I'm just
Yeah.
clarifying your
Okay,
belief.
okay, no, I-
You have taken a belief. I'm just simply saying. I'm just trying to understand the
You're neither. What I'm saying is, in my opinion, what it seems like is you're not neither agreeing nor disagreeing with me. You're just making side statements.
I am saying, how can
have
you,
nothing
as
to
a
do with-
rational, intelligent human being, believe that God, while He's all knowledgeable, He can become ignorant. While He is ever living, He can cease to exist. You have this dichotomy in your mind. Which one do you accept? You have an identity crisis, my friend.
No.
Yeah. If God is all knowledgeable, can He ever become less than that?
No.
Good. Was Jesus all knowledgeable God to begin with?
You want me to answer that again?
Yes.
So, in His divinity, okay, God the Father can exercise, if it's in His will, to reveal information to the Son in His humanity. That's like the fifth time I explained this to you.
You know why you trying to?
I'm not trying to.
No.
I'm
Please,
just to
please.
be honest.
I'm saying let's not convolute the matter. Let's simplify it. Before the universe was created, when there was no human Jesus, there was no human you.
In the
So we are
beginning,
talking
okay.
about where God existed
Yep.
at that time.
Yep.
Did the Son possess
He was the Word.
all knowledge, like
Yes.
God the
Yes.
Father has?
Yes.
Fine.
He was.
So
He was with.
okay, good. Let's take it step by step. So the Son of God in the Trinity, before creation ever began, He was all knowledgeable, like the Father. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. So the Son existed without a beginning while He was all knowledgeable. Can this same Son, while He is all knowledgeable, become less than knowledgeable later?
What did He do when He became less knowledgeable?
So
Became,
as a divine
he-
person,
he took on flesh, right?
so the divine became less than all knowledgeable. The divine Son became less than all knowledgeable.
His flesh did.
So the human became more knowledgeable, or less knowledgeable, sorry. The human is ignorant in the first place. It doesn't make sense the human became ignorant. Human is ignorant. Did the divine
Before I even
become...
get to that point, I'd have to explain to you and have you understand that Jesus is 100% man, 100% God. And I know that I can't take you to that point because you will never go there.
Let's go there. He is 100% God and 100% man.
200%.
Hang on.
So now you're playing on math.
Okay, brother.
It's not a math problem.
He is 100% God, 100% man, right? To be a perfect God, you have to be 100% God. Do you agree?
Yeah, sure.
Good. If you add something to this perfection, if you take away from this perfection, you are actually making God imperfect. Because what can you add to 100%? Okay, let's
The
clarify
reason
first.
why I say 100%
One
is to
moment.
imply fully and fully, not to
Okay,
make it a math
sure.
problem.
One moment. If you are fully 100% God,
Yes.
can you add perfection to it while you're 100% perfect? No, you can't. Good. If you take away anything from the 100% perfection, you're going to make it imperfect. Do you agree?
Okay, yeah.
Right. If you add anything to it which is not perfect, you're going to make it imperfect. You're going to make it imperfect. If you're 100% God and you add 100% man, which is imperfect. So imperfect is now mixed with perfection. What do you get? An imperfect God. You've just polluted an imperfected God with imperfection by adding man.
No, because I explained to you the differences between his divinity and his humanity. There's a reason why we have John 1 through 4, and then we have John 1:14, so that you can understand the way that he's divine and the way that he's human. Human nature, divine nature.
Brother, I've been studying.
So you have the human and the divine, right? Very interesting. When Jesus on this earth, how many will did he have to express this 100% feature? As a human, okay, as a human, you can only be a human when you have a human will. Do you agree?
I want to speak to this brother here.
Only be a human.
Right?
Do you have a will?
I haven't seen you for a while. I haven't been
Yeah, I mean, I have a will.
Do you know of any human who doesn't have a will?
I haven't been here for 7 years, right?
No.
so, no.
So human being must have a human will.
I want to speak to him.
Jesus, was he human 100%?
I've been studying.
As a 100% human being, he must have a will.
For what?
Good.
I'm ready.
He has a human will.
That's why
He has a
said
human will.
by will of his father.
Good. 100% human will. Was he 100% God? So he must have a divine will.
No, I've never seen you guys.
Yes.
Who are you guys?
So in one Jesus, how many wills do you have?
He knows me. He knows
Sorry.
me. He knows me.
In one Jesus was walking on earth 2,000 years ago, roughly. How many will do you have? The will of a human and the will of the divine.
Nature? You mean humanity and
Will.
divinity?
As we have just explained.
The way I'll answer is that he
Before you answer, let's affirm again. As a human, did he have a human will? You said yes. As a divine, did he have a divine will?
As a divine, well, see, him and the Father had the same will.
No, they have a similar will. They don't have, because he says, not according to my will, but your will. So there is a distinction between the will, but they agree. He is submitting to the will of the Father as a Muslim. Like a Muslim, he says, I submit to your will. So Jesus was demonstrating that he was a Muslim. That's besides the point. So Jesus has a will, the Father has a will, and Jesus submits to the will. It's not according to my will, but according to your will. So
His divinity.
So as a divine,
his humanity accepting the will of his divinity, which is the Father.
one moment, slowly. As a divine person, he has a divine will. As a human person, he has a human will. So in one Jesus, you have how many wills?
But the point here is that he doesn't ever have to stop being human.
Please.
You understand?
We have come to a point. You now understand where.
God's will, but still have their own will.
Please.
Yeah,
we have now come to a
That's
point.
a good explanation.
Now we have come to a point. You'll realize, early Christianity delved into this matter, and they became heretics on this question. You have heretical Christians because of the will of two natures, two wills of Jesus Christ, right? Okay, you probably read about Filioque clause and various others. Where
It's divinity.
Forget history.
Divinity is important, and that's what I'm.
What's important is Jesus Christ on earth has a human will and a divine will.
So why is he? Where is he right now, according to Islam?
One moment.
Answer the question.
No, please. I want to understand and
No,
explore
because
your
you're,
belief
you're
and the
hold
and
on,
the
you're
outcome.
emphasizing on the limitations and the humanity of Jesus.
No, I'm not.
So
I left
I want to understand from your Islamic perspective, to be fair, where is Jesus right now according to Islam?
Jesus, the human, is in the second heaven. He'll come
How
back
is that
again.
possible? He's human. How is that possible? He's human. And
If,
he's alive.
if as a human being, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taken up to the first heaven, to the second heaven, to the third heaven, up to the seventh heaven and over, how is that possible? It's possible. God can take his